talk to me about court orders and settlements, and how well, firstly, if you can explain what they are and what the difference is, and then how critical is it for couples to actually incorporate those financial settlements into some sort of court order, and how long do those court orders last?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, there's no obligation to have a financial settlement sort of ratified into a court order, and some people don't bother. They just sell the house or carve up the assets and just go their separate ways and don't involve a legal process at all. They may get divorced, which dissolves the marriage, but that doesn't dissolve the financial marriage, so to speak. The only way to sort of formalise the financial settlement is to incorporate that into a court order, and you can do that by consent. So you can agree the terms of the court order and submit it to the family court and ask a judge to approve it. You don't physically have to go to court and argue about it. But the advantage of having a court order is it gives certainty and finality, and nobody knows what the future holds. So to be able to cut all financial ties with your spouse could, or usually is, advisable, because you don't know what your financial future looks like. So if your finances took off and went really well, and you hadn't got a court order dealing with the financial settlement, you're then vulnerable to claims from your spouse, even if you're divorced, actually, at a later date. So it's really important in the vast majority of cases where there's no assets at all. People sometimes take the view, look, there's nothing to deal with here, so let's just get divorced and leave the finances alone. But in the vast majority of cases, it's strongly advisable to formalise the financial settlement and have it incorporated into a court order.
Okay. And how long does the court order remain in place for?
It depends on the what's in the agreement. If it's what we call a clean break, where there might be assets transferring to one party or being sold, and there's no ongoing spousal maintenance or periodical payments being made, that's what we call a clean break. So once the order is made and once the assets have been transferred and dealt with, that's it, and the order is legally binding, and there can be no comeback on either side. If there's ongoing spousal maintenance payments, then usually they're specified for a particular term. So it might be 3 years or 5 years or whatever. And in that situation, the order sort of remains live, as it were, until the term